let's go on to our next movie, The Possession of Hannah Grace. So, The Possession of Hannah Grace is a horror movie. I could tell by Creep, which is a horror movie as well, that you're big into the horror films. So this one is about an addict. So she used to be a police officer. The main character is Shay Mitchell. She plays Megan Reed, and like I said, used to be a police officer. And one night when she was doing her policing, a mugger pulled out a gun on her partner, and she froze. Mugger shoots the partner dies. She goes into just loses
a downward spiral.
Ends up becoming an addict, gets fired, now is working at a morgue. The movie begins, though, with Hannah Grace, who is being... an exorcism is being performed on her by two priests and her father. And long story short, the father suffocates her, she dies, but we can see her hand still moving. So 3 months later, she gets brought into the morgue, and then she terrorizes the morgue trying to recuperate it. And the more people she kills, the stronger she gets, and she's just wreaking havoc through the entire morgue and hospital.
Is she a demon? Or
she's possessed by some kind of demon.
Okay.
Now, I got some issues with her. She is definitely OP. So she cannot only heal herself, but she can control the Force as well. She's like she'd be like stronger than Darth Vader.
I love how you just said OP.
But that's what it is, right? She's way OP. Like the beginning of the movie, the exorcism doesn't work on her. There are two priests performing an exorcist. You normally watch a movie with a demon possession. It's one priest performing the exorcism. There are two of them, and the exorcism's not working. And not only during this exorcism, Hannah Grace is able to lift one of the priests up and throw him into something where a nail spikes him through the head.
So, she kills a priest.
Two of them.
What? How'd they get to the morgue?
Well, then the father somehow just is able to suffocate her. Apparently that's her weakness, suffocation. Again, I don't know if you know where I'm going to go with this, but not a good movie.
Oh, so she forgot her powers.
She forgot her powers while she was being suffocated.
Oh, okay.
So, and apparently in the 3 months since the suffocation, she's been, cut, and, so she comes into the morgue with, her throat, half off, gashes in her hip, gashes in her leg, half burnt. It's a disaster. And she, when she gets there, she starts killing people one by one. And as she kills people, she gets a little bit more healed.
Oh, so she absorbs them.
Yeah, it's not a very good movie, Xavier. There are, this is how I would describe the movie. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. A horror movie is supposed to scare you. This one doesn't scare you at all. In fact, if anything, there are just cheap jump scares. I feel like that's a problem with modern day horror movies. That's all they try to do. Instead of scaring you with really creepy concepts, they try to get you with the jump scare. But is that really being afraid? If you jump, does that mean you're afraid of the movie?
Yeah, everybody tries to make you jump anyway, so...
I think I've jumped in an action movie before. A jump is something you didn't expect. Not that you're scared. You're like, oh, what was that?
I kind of jumped in that Captain America Civil War in IMAX 3D when the helicopter blade's about to hit you in the face. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, right? It's just jumping. It doesn't mean you're scared. It just means you were startled. And the characters in this movie were just really, really stupid. And I'm going to tell you the character that really upset me.
That's great for a horror film. What do you mean? Stupid characters make the movie.
No, sorry. Not always. This one was really... the name's Randy, and Randy's the paramedic who brings Hannah Grace in.
His name's Randy.
Yeah, name's Randy. So he brings Hannah Grace into the morgue, and he has put the dead or carcass inside, the container that you put them in, or the plastic wrap. What am I talking about here?
I'm not a physician, so I wouldn't know.
The body bag, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's just...
So he explains to Megan, to Shay Mitchell's character, how badly this girl has been cut up and how gross it is. So one of the jobs that Megan has when she gets the body is she has to take pictures of all of the injuries. Red flag number 1. The camera doesn't work. Okay. Then she has to fingerprint the victim. The fingerprints do not work. Red flag number 2. Then she just puts her away inside the place where you put all the bodies. And as she continues to walk around hallways, again, about half this movie is her just walking down hallways. She keeps coming and opening it up and looking at Hannah Grace, and she realizes after about 10 minutes that the hip gash is gone. And then she realizes the neck gash is gone. And Randy shows up again. And, we know that Megan, she's got an addiction problem. Maybe she's seeing things. Maybe she can't trust herself. But Randy comes back. And she says, Randy, can you come talk to me for a second? And Randy goes into the room and looks at the body. And she's like, I could have sworn that there were gashes here and here, but the camera doesn't work. And he's like, I think so too. And she's like, I think something's going on here. And Randy looks at her. And he's like, you look like someone who has an addiction. You look like someone that sees some demons. Maybe if you caught on to your own demons and were able to let go of yourself, you wouldn't see things like this. And then Randy walks away. And then he dies, which he should. He deserved every second of that death.
Wait, didn't he agree with her?
He agreed with her and was like, no, whatever. This is what I'm saying. There's good stupid characters, like the character that runs up the stairs when the door's right here. They're like, no, I'm not gonna go through the door. I'm gonna go walk up the stairs and corner myself. That's funny, stupid. This is just like, it makes no sense. You have characters throughout the entire movie that just ignore things. They ignore the clear things that are happening. It's not like you're watching a Paranormal Activity where you're like, okay, like, it's a little kid, it's the daughter, maybe things should be going. These are clear signs. So I would have to say this movie is very boring. Just totally, totally boring.
Oh my goodness, it's just... I don't even know. The whole gash thing just had me... I keep thinking about it. It replays in my head. It's just hilarious right now. It's like
he saw the body.
It's like, no, you know what? No, those gases, yeah, I agree with you, but I think you're a crackhead, so I'm not going to help you.
Like, how do you turn, seeing, oh, wait a minute, this girl had, somehow healed herself in death? Let's try this about drugs. Maybe I'm on drugs, too. She brings another character down. Like, her sponsor gets her the job, and her sponsor's also an addict, and she's working on the 3rd floor, so she brings her down. It's Stanikatic, the girl, Beckett from Castle. Okay. And she's like, she sees that Megan carries around some Xanax with her, so she's like, oh. Like, it makes sense that she questions her. There's only a little bit of evidence. Lisa's never seen the body to see it healed. So it makes sense that she might not be fully on board. But Randy, I'm sorry, no, there's no offense on that. And then, of course, there's the fact that the father is still around. So the father is the one who is trying to kill her for 3 months. And the cops scare him away. So he comes back in and tries to take the dead body and incinerate her. My question is, why did you try to incinerate her for the last 3 months? Why did you try cutting her up and not incinerate her for 3 months?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he thought she's really dead. Her head was, hanging off, and she had a huge gash here,
But you kept the body for 3 months. You don't tell me that, this, it's not like this is at the same time. She was killed, they bring her to the morgue, now she's acting up. That would have been better, in my opinion. If they didn't go to the 3 months later, if that was the end of, if that first sequence where they finish, suffocating her, and then they bring her in, I think the movie would have been better.
Are there any redeemable characters?
Not any redeemable characters, but if I had to find some characteristics that I would say that are good, Hannah was really interesting. She was creepy. It's the girl who plays Hannah is Kirby Johnson, and she is able to contort herself. So like some of the contortion scenes that she does, very interesting. The cracking of the bones.
Oh, I couldn't watch that. That's a no for me. I might throw up my actual popcorn. So.
And I like the sound. There was no real score to this movie, but the sound was pretty good. But if I had to find one major positive, it's the intro scene. I thought the intro scene was fantastic. To see how strong she was, to see like how like she just threw the priest around, up until the point where she gets suffocated by her father. I was engaged. I tell you, like, the movie started off good. It just got boring once we got introduced to the morgue.
I just keep thinking of like these priests just getting thrown like rag dolls, getting murdered, and this guy's just like, you know what? He just runs up, just Leroy Jenkins it and just puts it right in his face.
I got you, priest! Don't kill the priest! I will suffocate you!
What about, is there a twist ending or anything like that?
A good horror movie?
Yeah.
Well, we're left to believe there might be. So the last thing that happens is Shay Mitchell's character, Megan, throws Hannah Grace into the incinerator, but like Hannah Grace is trying to pull her in with her. And like, she like opens her mouth and screams.
Yeah.
Well, maybe like that gives the audience that maybe she screamed into the mouth of Megan and the demon slipped out and went into Megan after.
Oh, okay.
So we are left with as soon as the Hannah Grace is dead, with one little last bit of dialogue by Shay Mitchell that she's healing. Now, is the demon healing inside her, or has she defeated her own internal demons and is now healing so she can eventually become a police officer again? We don't know. It's up to the audience to figure that one out themselves.
Oh, interesting. So there might be a chance for a sequel.
You know what? I hope not. I would like to see a prequel, believe it or not. I want to see this demon in action. This was an interesting demon. Like, I'm telling you, a very OP demon. Like, this, maybe put this in the Conjuring universe. Get that in there.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm going to a 3.5 out of 10 on this one. This was bad. Just boring. And if it's gonna be, if you're gonna have stupid characters and stupid scenes, it's got to be funny. And if I'm not laughing in a horror movie, I'm sorry, you bore me. Oh, no.
A boring horror movie is like the worst thing.
It is, and it's only an hour. It's only 85 minutes, not even an hour and a half, and that's credits in. So you're sitting there for like an hour of the movie, and you're like, oh my god, it's only been an hour. It feels like 3. Of all the movies we're talking about, this would be the last one I'd recommend going to see.
Okay, so I'm definitely going to go see it.
If you want to be bored to death, I highly recommend it.
Because we have opposite opinions on everything.
Not really. Only movies you got opposite opinions on are Creed 2.
That's true.
We're pretty similar in most things.